Hey, happy Saturday, Rockstars. Welcome in June 11, 2022. And if you missed the message yesterday, Mark II posted this and it was also all over the news. The IRS is giving everybody, business owners, 1099, resellers, whatever it is that you do, the opportunity to get a bigger deduction for the miles that you drive. So if you aren't familiar with that, if you drive to a thrift store every single day, 20 miles and 20 miles home, that's 40 miles, and you go 5 times a week for 200 miles, and you do that all year long, and you drive 10,000 miles for business, or maybe you're a delivery guy, or whatever it is you do that you drive your vehicle, you can claim those miles on your taxes. It's one of the many deductions that we get to reap the benefits of during tax season, along with, our shipping and our internet and our phone and our home office, like I have here that I use strictly for business. Mileage is a big one. It actually is a large amount of money. It used to be 58 cents per mile, and before it was down in the 52, 54. I think I can remember way back when I started doing deductions and taking tax things that it was in the 40s. Now they've raised it to 62 cents per mile, which is huge. So when you go in and you drove 10,000 miles, now there are caps and maximums, but when you drove that 10,000 miles legitimately for business, 62 cents a mile, it's huge. It's really, really big, right? So that deduction goes against your taxable income. So it's fantastic. I'm going to take you over and let you take a look at the story. I get asked all the time how to track mileage. I mean, you can write it down. That's probably old school. There is an app called Mile IQ, and also now My Reseller Genie, which if you don't have accounting and bookkeeping service already, Reseller Genie is great to use for everything else, inventory, accounting, bookkeeping, but you can also add an expense for miles and then type in, manually enter how many miles that you drive. Now, I get this question a lot too. If I go to the thrift store and then I go do some personal stuff and get ice cream and then come home, does that trip count? It's the part that was for business. So if you drive to Goodwill and it's 10 miles away, and then you go do a bunch of other crap and then you come home, well, you know that your Goodwill trip, if you hadn't done the personal stuff, was 10 miles and 10 miles back. That's 20 miles. 20 of your miles was business. If you drove to the ice cream shop in your sister's house to see your dog and you drove 40 other miles, well, you drove 60 for the day. 40 miles was personal. You can't claim that. You're only going to claim the 20 miles that you drove for the business. So you do got to kind of keep an eye on that. Mile IQ is great because they have like a start and stop. So when you leave your house, you can hit the start button. The trip starts calculating your mileage. You get to Goodwill, you hit stop. Then when you drive around to all your other stuff, don't do the trip, and then when you come home, you'll start and stop it when you get home. So that's some of the solutions that you can use, including, like I said, My Reseller Genie. I'll link that down below. You can check it out. So with that said, let's just go take a look at the 62 cents a mile, and hopefully this helps a lot of you save some more money during tax time. Thankfully, they've done something to help us for once. Okay, June 9, 2022. This was from Thursday afternoon. The IRS Internal Revenue Service today announced an increase in the optional standard mileage rate for the final 6 months of 2022. So your first 6 months of driving, January through June, are going to count at that 58.5 cents. For the last 6 months, you'll get 62.5. So you're going to need to know each month. You should be recording how many miles you drive each month. That way you could tell what the first 6 months were versus the last 6 months. For the final 6 months of 2022, the standard mileage rate for business travel will be 62.5 cents per mile, up 4 cents from the rate that was effective at the start of the year. The new rate for deductible medical or moving expenses will be 22 cents, which is also up 4 cents, and the new rates become effective July 1st, of course. The IRS provided legal guidance on the new rates issued today. In recognition of recent gasoline price increases, the IRS made this special adjustment for the final months of 2022. The IRS normally updates the mileage rates once a year in the fall for next calendar year. The IRS is trying to help out, I guess. The 14 cent per mile rate for charitable organizations remains unchanged as it's set by statute. So then you can see the business rates through June, 58.5, going to be 62.5 now. Medical and moving, which you can look up what that covers, 18 to 22, and charitable stays at 14, which means anything you do for charity, driving, any amount of time to donate or do any of that stuff, those are deductible as well at 14 cents a mile. So that will give you guys a little update. I'll link this below directly from the irs.gov website. Make sure you're tracking those miles. Use Genie, use Mile IQ, use something. It is a huge deduction at the end of the year, and one you definitely want to take if you are driving to pick up merchandise, to drop stuff off at the post office. Anything that is in the normal realm of business is absolutely claimable for miles with the IRS on your tax returns. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'll get you more tax news, more reselling news, updates, and things that you need that will help you make money, or in this case, save money. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Until next time, I'll see y'all then.